Good morning, everybody. Payneblade back here again from Server 1, representing IAC and Tribes Lab. Just want to welcome everybody on this gloomy Wednesday morning. I'm at work right now. Got some little bit of time to make a video, so I decided, you know what, we're going to throw up a Boruto video. I know some people have been asking about Team 7 Reborn, so I'm going to go ahead and cover him today as a showcase, show you some arena fights, go over his kit. Of course, he is incomplete. I'm doing my best to get as many as I can up for you guys so you guys can see their full potential. But this Boruto was at level 70 and a couple of gears were 50 and some skills were around 60, so I wasn't finished. Before I go into the spotlight though, guys, I do want to go over a few things here. I've had a few people request a couple things, so I've gone ahead and done them. First thing people have requested is for me to make a free-to-play account, so I've gone ahead and done that. It's called Free to Pain. I know it's cheesy, but the video will be up shortly, and I'll be doing strictly a free-to-play account with nothing spent, and I'm going to help the lower power player base and newer player base understand how to play as a free-to-play player with all my knowledge and all my my know-how about the game, and I'm going to help guide you guys on server 17. And this applies to anybody who joins any server and is brand new, or even veterans. You may get some tips from it going forward. So my first video will be coming out shortly. It'll just be my summon video, and then I'll probably bring out a video, just some simple things like what do you do with all your Rio when you get it, how to build a team, or what team you should start with, and things like that, right? So look out for that. It's coming soon. Secondly, I'm going to be also doing another little thing that somebody suggested, and I thought it was a great idea, is if you guys are on the main Discord, feel free to throw up your teams and ask me to use your same formation to do arena matches with using my roster to show you the full potential of what your team is capable of. So what I plan to do is I plan to do 5 matches with your team, and then if I like your formation, I'll complement it. If I think it needs to change, I'll do 5 matches with my version of your roster or your team, and I'll reformat it based on what I think is best, and I'll do 5 matches there. And what we'll see is whose formation works out better. So it'll help you understand what your shinobis are capable of with my formation versus what they're capable of with yours. So there may be improvement for you, or you may have got it right, and we'll make proof of that. So I think it's a great concept. Look out for that, guys. I already have a team set up by Toes from Discord. So shout out to him for the idea. And if anybody else wants to do it, there is a content request section in the main Discord. Please tag me there. Shoot me a snapshot of your team. Let me know that's what you want me to use. Now, what I do request though is if I don't have your character built up, if you have a dream character that you've always wanted in your roster, or somebody that you always wanted to try but haven't because you don't have him or her built, request that as well. Just put that person in your roster, or let me know who you want, and I'll build it in there for you, and I'll do the testing on your behalf. So those are some things, guys, we're going to be looking at. Also, Tribes Lab has a voting system where they've asked me to put a random team together and showcase that random team to you guys in an arena fight just to see how well they do. So a lot of that will be happening. So guys, there's going to be a ton of content coming your way. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, share. Let everybody know about this channel if you're interested in Ninja Tribes, of course. But without further ado, guys, let's jump into the actual Boruto showcase. So as a lot of you do know, Boruto is one of the first players you guys get through an event when you join the game. I believe it's called a limited event, where you do certain things, events, and then you unlock the 3-star version of him. Now, the good thing about Boruto is he is a pretty good nuke. Now, I had used Boruto for a while, and I stopped because of all the URs I started collecting, obviously, and he just kind of fell into the cracks, and I never used him again. So in the last 2 days, what I've done is I've taken him from level 50 to 70, which is what the arena fight will be. I've got him to 71 now, and I've got him to 7 stars for you guys. Now, the cool thing about Boruto is they've pretty much resembled his father's, Naruto's, artwork with just a different angle, which is kind of cool, actually. I kind of like that. The son kind of follows the footsteps of the father. So great artwork design here. I love the scroll. I love the Rasengan. Color schematics are very similar to Naruto, so you can't go wrong with that. So great artwork overall. Now, in terms of stats, Boruto actually has pretty decent stats. His critical rate is actually really high for him. for an SR, and his critical damage increase rate is insanely high at 18%. That's a base rate. I don't know the last time I've seen somebody with the base rate that high. So in regards to his actual damage output, he does a ton of damage. And as you can see here, he's an A type, so his damage increase rate is actually really high as well too. Now, my stats for damage increase rate are not complete, so that'll even go higher. So Boruto True and True is a nuke to the core. Now, what he also does provide you is he does provide you guard rate at a really high percentage for an A unit. So he does guard quite a bit at 7 stars. One thing he does lack, though, is critical suppression rate, right? So it's probably the lowest I've seen in the game so far at a 7 star. So that's something to look out for. So definitely add a tank in there to give you a hand. To guard him, to essentially help him guard crits coming in. Outside of that, though, he's got really good stats for an A unit. So Boruto is a very solid unit, guys. I highly recommend him if you have him, especially if you're free to play or if you're not a free to play. Even if you're a whale, he's a great nuke for someone who's looking for somebody to just take an opponent out with one shot. All right, so let's look at those link bonuses. So Boruto has pretty straightforward Team 7 Reborn, sorry. So you can get Sarada and Mitsuki as his attack bonus. Very simple to do, guys. Farmable. If you're brand new, you can actually get them from the Shinobi Exchange Shop. Most of you guys should already have these. They're all over Elite missions as well too. Now, in order to get his defense, you need Naruto Uzumaki, the SR version, and you need Konohamaru. Very easy again. Naruto they give you from the beginning of the game when you start, and they give you a ton of fragments for him, so you can probably get him to 5 star. Again, you only need 1. And guys, a lot of questions about link bonuses. They just need to be in your roster, not in your team. They don't need to be in your formation in any way, shape, or form. Just have them in your roster, okay? And Konohamaru, of course, being a rare, is pretty straightforward to farm. And then lastly, to get the HP, this is a little harder, obviously. You need his father and mother. You need the UR version of Naruto Uzumaki, which is actually going on right now as a double frag drop. So if you feel like you want him, that's a good way to get him. I personally don't like that summon, but that's up to you guys. And lastly, Hinata, who's farmable and very straightforward to pull. So overall, getting his link bonuses are very easy, guys. Not a hard thing to do, and they're definitely worthwhile if you're gonna main him. All right, as you can see here in the bottom, he does have really good attack. HP is a little low for an A unit, but again, he's a glass cannon. He's meant to do a ton of damage, and he is not really a survivor. In terms of speed, he's a little in the mid range speed. He's not slow. He's not fast. I mean, you do want to put in a couple scrolls for him just to speed him up. But overall, I mean, he's not a slow unit. So definitely don't worry about that. In terms of tribes, he's actually got quite a few. He's got 3. Now they're all single target tribes, right? He's got the Rasengan through the ages with Naruto, Uzumaki, the SR version, or the UR version, whichever one you have. He's got the Super Uzumaki Rasengan with his dad, the SR or UR version, and then he's got Team 7 with Mitsuki, Team 7 Reborn, I keep saying it the other way around, and with Boruto, Mitsuki, and Sarada, which is also a single target. Now, the good thing about these, I will say, for PvE is he's got all 3 different types, so it's kind of nice to have that. A lot of them don't. A lot of them are D, T's, and just random other letters. But he's got all 3. So in that regard, Boruto's tribes are actually really good for PvE. So for example, if you're doing like the Rio drills or the EXP pot drills, based on who you have in your roster, you can actually set up a pretty good tribe to take out those units pretty quickly and complete it with an S ranking. So in that regard, he's not bad. Alright, so let's see what else he's got. Jump into his enhancement and gears. Now, Boruto does actually provide you guys with some buffs. Surprisingly, as a nuke, he does actually give you some utility as well. So, but with his original Jitsu, he actually does a ton of damage when his own HP is above 50%, and he deals additional damage if you're using it in a 3-chain attack. So co-ops, fantastic. He's amazing with co-ops when he does this. When you do it with 3 other of the same units, he's fantastic at doing this. He'll do so much damage, guys. It's insane. So his Rasengan is great. The only caveat here, guys, is the fact that if he is below HP, 50% HP, he does lose a ton of damage as well. So you actually do miss out on the extra 22.56%. So you will see a drop. That is his only dilemma about him. So having a healer sometimes around him or having a tank to protect him with guard rate up, which he already has a ton of, is actually a pretty good idea. So having Gaara, Sugetsu, etc. I ain't losing here. Attack for users and allies in the same 3-man cell for the rest of the battle. He increases their damage. I mean, you can't go wrong. So this is why a lot of the times when you guys are building a team, you want to put Boruto first, right? Because if he pops that, he gives everybody that attack for the rest of the battle. Now, a lot of people will say, well, it's not a big deal because it's for the rest of the battle. But hey, even that first initial attack is worth having that extra 8% boost because you will see a substantial increase in your damage. So I would suggest putting Boruto first in line of your cell and then just proccing this even one time. You don't have to worry about it going forward. That cell will have that attack. Alright, and of course he's got the attack boost M. He's an SR, A-type. And then you have the limit break 1 and 2 and his trait. So he boosts attack by 13% for users and allies of the 3-man cell additionally for the rest of the battle. So now you're adding that 8% to the 13% when it procs, right? So you're at 21. And then he boosts his own attack by 8.22%. So he's at 30% attack increase for the rest of the battle for himself. Not let alone he's already giving 21% to everybody, but he's giving himself 30. So that's his limit break 2, guys. So that adds to his nuking that he already does. So he's a powerhouse when it comes down to hitting. Again, he does need to be at a higher percentage to do the maximum damage in terms of HP, but if you have him at that high percentage, he'll be knocking people left and right. So Boruto is by all means a nuke. He is fantastic at what he does. Let's just level this while I'm talking. And you can't go wrong with him, honestly, as an A-type unit. He will put in work for you, and he will definitely take out units for you a lot quicker than most other people would. All right? So gear-wise, I've got him to 60, 60, 50, 45. I'm still focusing on getting the rest of it up. But for now, that's where we're at. I believe when I did the battle, I was at 50, 50, 40, 40. The skills were all 50s, not 65. And he was only level 70 when I did this battle. Scrolls and talismans, 26 and 30, that's typical. And of course the vitality, I didn't have up, I don't think, during the arena battle. No, I did, because I had the LB2. So for him, this one's really important. Check out my spreadsheet, guys. The vitalities are on there and what you should be leveling, what you should not be leveling. He has, you should probably max this one out or close to 10. You should definitely max this one out. And this one you can do about 10 to 20, and that one max out when you get it, okay? So without further ado, let's jump into the arena match that I did today. Now, of course, having an underdeveloped team, I fought the top players again. I did lose twice to Boo today, and I beat Boo twice, so that's kind of a typical thing that happens with him when I use my my underdeveloped teams. But there you go. There's 1 win there, 2 losses there, and then 1 win up there. But today we're just going to look at someone different because we haven't seen him in a while. We're going to look at ISC Famon. Now, shout out to everybody here. Besides Onyx, who isn't in our alliance. ISC is coming along really well. We're still the top alliance in the world, and we continue to get better. So shout out to you guys for improving and making Arena challenging for me. So let's jump into this battle. Now the thing I want to obviously focus on is the damage that Boruto does, and the buffs that he provides his team, and the buff that he provides himself. So just keep a lookout for that, and we'll see what we get here. All right, so we're going to speed this up a little bit. 5 times to get past this. Now, I'm hoping he doesn't die in this fight. He may, but I'm hoping to at least showcase you guys what he's capable of. I haven't watched this fight as usual, so I never usually watch my own fights. All right, Kieran survived. No, that's not him. Perfect. Fast forward this one. Now, guys, for most of these units, I've already done a showcase, so if you're curious about how any of these units work, feel free to jump back into any of my videos and take a look at them. I have also done... Donati's dead. Oh, sorry. I've also done how to build a successful team, as many of you know, so feel free to look at that. And please, guys, use my spreadsheet. It's there for a reason. Okay, so Boruto's coming up. See, he did his damage increase there, and he did his attack up. Okay, so he's now going to do his 2-man cell move here. Looks like Samon's a little faster here than I am. So let's just see his damage. I'm hoping he attacks either Sasuke or Sakura. There you go. 71,000, right? That's hot. That's really high for a underdeveloped Boruto, and that was a critical hit too. So you can see, guys, he does put in a lot of damage. He is really good at self-nuking. So we're going to probably see, yeah, Team 7 here. I'll probably end up killing somebody here and stopping it. So this is, again, the whole tribes versus no tribes versus co-op situation, but there we go, block that turn. Probably kill somebody here again. He's going to do co-op now. But yeah, you see Boruto does a ton of damage. Oh, I didn't realize. Noob move by me. I put I put single target tribe accidentally. I wasn't paying attention. My bad, my bad. This is something I didn't want to see. Well, there you go. Somebody died. But that's okay. So yeah, I really didn't want to do that, guys. I apologize. That was a really big rookie mistake on my end. Normally, I don't do tribes like that. But it's okay. At least we get to see something. Didn't do too bad damage either. But normally I would have done. I would have killed somebody there with just doing my three jutsus. So my bad. All right, so my guy's gonna die here. Two guys might die. Okay, there we go. So I'm hoping I get another turn here to show you some of his damage. Let's hope. He's probably going to use Naruto, yep. Oh, rookie mistake. I'm actually a little upset at myself for that one. That happens though, what are you going to do? 6 o'clock in the morning I'm doing these videos, right? So then during work hours, makes it a little more difficult to do the right thing. So let's just see a couple guys die here. Yep. So chances are I'll probably get one more attack with Boruto, and that's good. That's kind of what I want anyways. Someone will die most likely. Oh, that's good guard rate. And that was Boruto that did that. So you see his guard rate is really high already. And by having Gaara add his additionally to it, that made him pretty much block the entire attack. So, which is rare because usually I one-shot people with my my heavy, right? So shows you how important guard rate is. So let's kill somebody here, hopefully. Or we can see Boruto here. Okay, so you're going to watch Boruto attack up, damage rate increase up by Narutokage. And I'm going to do single target. This is so bad. I'm going to do this again. Sorry, guys. Again, this is not what I intended. But whatever, you guys get to see his tribe. I will put in the notes I made a rookie mistake and accidentally created this instead. Yeah, I think this is pretty much done anyways. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys his buffs and damage. I think we kind of got the point though, guys. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get off one of his Rasengans because I accidentally put a single target tribe together. But as you can see, from a single attack and his buffs, he does continuously increase his own attack, right? So that is a buffable stat. That does stack, guys. Actually, no, sorry, it doesn't stack. It goes away at the end of his turn, so he keeps re-getting it. So it doesn't stack, but he keeps continually to get that attack up every single time he has that buff. So he'll get 30% attack up for himself, 21% for the entire cell, and then, of course, his Rasengan will do more damage with higher HP. And as you saw, even with the lower, like a level 70 underdeveloped Boruto, I ended up doing about 71,000 on an A-type with a crit, which is actually really high. You'll see people like Hinata and Rock Lee doing that much damage. So as a nuke, he's fantastic. So guys, if you have Boruto and you're looking for a nuke, definitely get him up. He's worth it. He does, again, he'll do a lot of work for your team. Just avoid what I did there. Don't put him in with the single target tribe. Again, sorry guys, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I made that video. I wasn't thinking. But yeah, at the end of the day, he's fantastic. So I hope you guys enjoyed the spotlight. Stay tuned for the random team video coming either tomorrow or the day after, and I'll also be doing the showcase for players' teams and then comparing my formation versus theirs, and that'll be coming also sometime in the coming week. And also, I'm going to be dropping the free to Pain videos shortly. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll talk soon.